Society is kind of with women right now. It's like fad diets, overwork, run yourself into the ground, punish yourself. I need to be the change. I need to do something different.
You are my current trainer. You have really built a career as an expert in women's fitness.
You want to push in the gym. A lot of people are always looking pretty the whole time. Like, nah, you want to make some faces.
Making noises.
I want to hear some grunts. I want to hear some weights dropping. But a lot of people think that that's more of like a manly thing to do, but that's how women need to train.
I don't have to be in the gym as much as I used to be to see better results.
If you're running a business, if you're a mom, if you're a wife, it's like these are all things that are like taking your energy. You have to make sure that you do just enough training to get what you need. Less is more.
What would you say are the top 3 most common mistakes that are robbing them of the results that they want to see in their fitness?
The 3 things that I would really dial in if you want to transform your body is
Today we're diving into the secrets behind transforming your body and your business from the inside out. And I am sitting down with my trainer, Coach Jordan Eastman, asking him all of the questions, all the DMs that I get when people see the workouts I've been doing. I saved them all to ask the man himself. And we're talking about how in both business and life, it really is the simple basics that ultimately create the biggest transformations. So if you have been curious about reconnecting with your strength, gaining lean muscle, empowering yourself through fitness to show up differently in your life and your business, then this is the episode for you. Quick disclaimer, this is not medical advice. We are just sharing general information for educational purposes only. Always work with your own healthcare professional before starting a new fitness routine. And with that, let's dive in. Jordan Eastman, welcome to Powerhouse Women. How does it feel to be sitting in this seat? In a seat very few powerhouse men have actually sat in.
It's actually an honor. You were just telling me about how like it's a handful of people that come on here that are guys. So it's always good whenever I can come on here and be one of the few. You know what I mean?
And here's what people should know about you. You actually are just one of the girls. So how I know you is you are my current trainer, my personal trainer. I have been working with you for the past 6-ish months now. And what I have loved about getting to know you is that you really are just one of the girls. Like, not only are you a girl dad and partner to your amazing fiance, Priscilla, but there was this workout where I was like under the squat rack and you're like, oh, is that Funny Bunny? And I was like, excuse me? You're like, your nail polish color. Is that Funny Bunny? Which, if you don't know, is a very popular white shade of the OPI nail polish that you've been around enough to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
bubble bath, Funny Bunny, all that good stuff.
It just kills me every time. Yeah. But you have really built a career as an expert in women's fitness. Yeah. And it's been such an empowering experience. Something that I shared, I actually did a reel about this a couple of maybe weeks or months ago, about how I came out of a season last year where what taking care of myself looked like was a lot of lower impact work. I really needed to do more nervous system regulation, but I came into 2025 knowing that I was really ready to challenge myself again. Yeah. And I think it's like when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Exactly.
So a friend of mine who works out with you, I saw her getting really strong. And I also saw that it was the style of workouts that I knew my body responded to best. And I knew I was ready to enter a season of challenging myself and really teaching my nervous system that like the next level of success is safe to hold. So we're going to break into, I have never gone this deep into just fitness and nutrition for women. And we're going to go there because I get so many questions when people see my workouts.
Totally.
And I don't want to answer them. I want you to.
Yeah. And I am here. I got you. Say less. I appreciate that though. I appreciate what you're getting out of this. It's awesome.
It's been really empowering and something we get to talk, even we have a small group that we train with and a lot of us are entrepreneurs. There's so many parallels between fitness and business. So as an entrepreneur yourself, why don't we start there?
Yeah.
What do entrepreneurs sleep on in terms of the impact that getting stronger physically can have on our businesses?
I think that it allows you to break through barriers. It's like a real time example of like you getting better, and it's something that you can see immediately, like within 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it allows you, like when you're on a back squat, week 1, you're doing the bar. Week 2, you're doing the bar plus a 5 on each side. Week 3, you're doing the bar plus a 10 on each side. So it's just like it shows you that you can push through barriers. It shows that you can push yourself and stretch yourself to become a better person for your business, for yourself, and not just your body, but also for your business.
Yeah, it's so true. And I think there are those moments now. There's like these humbling moments where you kind of first have to start by seeing where your limitations are, being willing to start as a beginner.
Totally.
And I got a lot of questions when I shared that I was going to have you on the podcast of, I think women who definitely are curious about lifting weights and building muscle, but don't know where to start. And there's like this gym intimidation. What is your recommendation for where someone should start if they're a total beginner, especially keeping just like injury prevention in mind? Where's the best place to start in order to really build that foundation that you can grow from?
I would say the most important thing is like go and get a coach. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like when you come into a community like how I have, it's like you're a little nervous at first, you're intimidated at first just to come in. But once you come in, it's like you kind of let loose, you can relax, you can enjoy it. And I think that just hiring a coach, hiring a professional to get you where you want to go, because there's going to be a lot of questions if you're doing it on your own. You don't know whether you're doing it right. You don't know if form is good. You don't know if you're pushing yourself hard enough. You don't know if you're getting too strong, too fast. Like you don't know any of these things. So it's like when you hire a professional, a coach, they kind of like answer all those questions for you, give you the confidence that you need. And then once you get that professional support, then over time you can do it on your own and you can feel confident doing it on your own. But the biggest thing is like, you don't have to go at it alone. And I feel like people are like scared to reach out for help. There was somebody who talked to me the other day. I signed her as a client and she was like, I was honestly so scared to ask for help, but I'm ready to do it now. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Cause I think that's one of the biggest things. It's like for beginners, it's like, they don't want to look stupid in the gym. They don't want to look like they're, don't know what they're doing. They're looking at what everybody else is doing, or they're thinking that everybody's staring at them. But once you get into like a small community or something, it's like, that's your community. That's the place where you can thrive in. And like I said, you just know that you're doing the right things because you hired a professional to make sure that, you don't have to think about all this stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And then with time, then it allows you to kind of do it on your own to where you're confident.
That really is. I mean, and I want to also acknowledge that not everybody has the financial resources to do that. Not everyone's going to have access. But if you can, it actually is the fastest way to set yourself up for success, because that's the thing that I've learned with lifting weights for over 20 years is, there's a right and a wrong way to approach it. There's an effective and an ineffective way if your goal is to build muscle. And knowing that if you're going to the gym and you're putting in the effort, you want to know that it's leading to the place that you desire to end up. So let's talk about this. I mean, something I'm really passionate about is building muscle for women. And yet I also know that there's this preconceived notion like, oh, I don't want to get bulky. I don't want to look like a man.
Yeah.
And, so the 8 a.m. group that I train with, we have, I think someone else named us the meatheads, but then we adopted it very, very proudly because we are the group that we like to lift heavy shit. Yeah. And like, I think it even surprises us how much more we can lift than we thought. What do you say to a woman who's like, I want to be strong, but I don't want to get bulky?
I would say the biggest thing is that you actually want to train as hard as possible, get strong as possible to gain that lean muscle, because it's important for longevity. It's important for how you're going to be utilizing your nutrients. It's important for bone density, bone health, because women as they age, like they're at risk of osteoporosis. So it's like you want to make sure that you push yourself as hard as possible while you're younger, gain as much lean muscle while you're younger, so that it sets you up for success. So when women are coming to me like, I don't want to get bulky, the first thing I want to tell you is that bulk is body fat plus muscle. So it's like what happens is that people will be gaining a lot of muscle, but also gaining a lot of body fat. So you get the bulky look, not because of the lean muscle, but because of the body fat you have over it. So when you drop body fat, you go into a fat loss phase, you get leaner, then you can reveal that lean muscle and you're not going to look all bulky and, how everybody's thinking they're going to look. But the reason that you're going to look bulky is because of the body fat with the lean muscle on top of that. So it's really the body fat that creates the bulky look. Like people think it's the muscle. It's not the muscle. It's the body fat. And I think that women need to gain lean muscle for longevity purposes, for health purposes, and also to look good and feel sexy. I don't know any woman who don't want to feel sexy, feel strong, feel confident. So that muscle is so important. So you always want to strive to train hard. Like how you said, you guys are the meatheads. That's how women need to train. You need to look at like how hard people train and be like, that's what I need to do, as opposed to like I'm just going to do Pilates because I'm nervous. Like Pilates is great for, breath and controlling your body and owning your body. But then if you actually want to build that strong body that lasts the long haul, you got to make sure that you're getting into strength training, gaining that lean muscle. So don't shy away from training extremely hard, because that's what you want to do. And it is extremely hard to put on lean muscle. You have to train hard. You have to eat more fuel. You have to fuel your body. And yes, so for women who are scared to be bulky, I would say it's not anything but the body fat. You want to gain as much lean muscle as possible. You do not want to shy away from training hard and gaining as much as possible, to be honest, because you're going to need it as you age.
And I just laugh because I'm like, every time I hear that, I'm like, I've been out here trying to get bulky. I'm trying to put on lean muscle, and it's actually harder. It's more of a complex picture of your fitness and your nutrition than I ever understood. So, and I don't mean that I actually want to look bulky. I just mean I am someone who understands the value. I want to be putting on lean mass, especially as I get into my 40s. And it's hard, y'all. You're not going to, if you lift weights, you're not going to get bulky, especially if you understand how to combine the nutrition piece with it. But since you were just talking about like not being afraid to really push yourself, that was the biggest thing. Coming off of, I've worked with trainers in the past, and I had been in a long season of really kind of just following online workouts and programming that I liked, but where I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted is I was afraid to push myself. I was afraid to pick up those heavier dumbbells. And there is not a workout with you that doesn't go by where I think I've like hit my max and you just casually walk over and drop like the next little increment of weight up. And what happens in my mind in that moment, and here's just the value of working with a professional as well, is it connects in my mind. Wait, he thinks I can do it. You know, my level of fitness, my strength. And then I get to see for myself that I can do it. There's no more empowering feeling than seeing your weights increase, seeing yourself improve in that way. And especially I think as a woman, realizing that there's days that there's some boys in there that we're lifting heavier than them. True. And that's just a badass feeling. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So what do you see in terms of the intensity that people are working out with? Where are we essentially not doing ourselves any favors because we're not training intensely enough? Yeah.
So is the question more so like, how do we know if we're training hard enough?
Yeah, maybe that's a better question too. Like you have some great guidance even on your Instagram of kind of like how to gauge where you should be at in terms of weight and intensity. Yeah,
and that's a great question, because a lot of people just do not know how to train hard enough. They think they're pushing hard. They don't know what they don't know though. They don't know that they're not training that hard until you get in an environment where it's like, okay, wow, this is the level that I need to train at. A good rule of thumb is you want to train within 1 to 3 reps shy of failure. So you want to be pushing, and that's true failure. That's not like, oh, my mind is like getting tired, so I quit. It's more so 1 to 3 reps shy of true failure. So, if you're going for 10 reps, you want to make sure that if you're going to fail at 10 reps, you want to be within 1 to 3 reps of that. So it's like if you're 7 to 10 reps, like you'll be good. You know what I mean? And then the next rule of thumb is if your first rep looks similar to your last rep, then you can go up anywhere between 2.5 to 10 pounds. Because another question I get asked is, how do I know when I should get stronger? When your form is on point, when your first rep looks similar to your last rep with the full range of motion. So for example, on a back squat, training ass to grass all the way down there. First rep looks similar to your last rep. Then you can go up 2.5 to 10 pounds. Those are good rules of thumb. So it's like 1 to 3 reps shy of failure. So you want to push in the gym. Like you want to look like a lot of people are always looking pretty the whole time. Like, nah, you want to make some faces.
We got making noises. We're out there.
Yeah. I want to hear some grunts. I want to hear some weights dropping. Like that's how it has to be. But a lot of people think that that's more of like a manly thing to do. But in all honesty, like that's how women need to train too. Like you have to push like that. So 1 to 3 reps shy of failure. If your first rep looks similar to your last rep on the lift with good form, perfect tempo, then you can go up 2.5 to 10 pounds. Yeah. And that could be in that session, or that could be the next week if you're on your last set. So that's a good rule of thumb.
And the tempo piece is powerful too. What I love about your style of training is that we take all of the exercises at a very specific tempo. And some might say like a slow tempo. It's time under tension, making sure the muscle is under tension for the right amount of time so that it responds in the right way. But what's been cool about that is it slowed me down and created more of a mind-body connection. How important is that mind-body connection in the results that we see?
Yeah, it's so important. Like the mind-muscle connection. It's something I talked about with the Pilates. It's kind of like owning your body. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't own their body as much as they think. So that's why I really like the tempo. So the tempo is going to allow you to have that connection. If you're just moving the weight from point A to B, you're not going to feel anything but A and B. But if you're moving it from A to Z, like you're really feeling the entire range of motion, you're really feeling the movement, that's when you're going to get more connected. That's when you're going to strengthen your tendons and ligaments. That's when you're going to gain more lean muscle. That's where you're going to have that mind-muscle connection, and you're going to have more control over your body. And it's a really good feeling. And the more connection you have with your body, the more you get lean muscle, the more you get stronger. So it's just very important just to completely have that connection with the tempo. So
And that was something, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to like generalize and say this is all women, but I was the type where I'm in the gym and I'm thinking about my to-do list. I'm thinking about the things I need to accomplish later, the groceries that I need to get. And so I think just slowing down and also pushing myself to the point where the kind of lifting we're doing, I can't really think about much else.
Yeah.
It's made me so much more present, even in other areas of my life. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm seeing a lot of now 6 months in, a lot of the physical gains, because we're training with the right intensity, with the right tempo, and I'm connecting to the movements that I'm doing, which again is such a parallel for how to approach my business.
Totally.
So the other piece that has been so eye-opening, I think, is realizing just how much the nutrition timing plays a role. And I know that's a big area that a lot of people are confused about. Should I eat before I work out? How much should I eat before and after? Specifically, I'd love for you to speak to the importance of that pre and post workout nutrition window. And then we'll get into like just some nutrition questions in general, because you really blend both together in the kind of work that you do.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest mistakes is that women love training fasted, don't like doing breakfast, all that stuff. So it's like you're going to a training session fasted, but when you're fasted, you're not able to train as hard as you would like because you don't have any fuel in your body. So if you add, 20 to 30 grams of protein pre-workout, 20 to 30 grams of carbs pre-workout, you're going to have some fuel in your body. And a lot of people are like, I wake up early. Well, you can use that as you can have some apple juice. You can have a protein shake. So you can utilize liquids. You could do something like, oatmeal, banana, protein, just anything that'll get you 20 to 30 grams of protein and carbs pre-workout. That's going to allow you to push in the gym. That's going to allow you to get stronger from a set to set basis. It's going to just fuel the whole workout. You know what I mean? Because if you're training hard enough, that's the thing, is like you have to train hard and you need to fuel that performance. Because if you're just going on an empty stomach, like you have nothing to give. You're pouring from an empty cup essentially. And I like to do the same thing. I like to keep it very simple, just 20 to 30 grams pre and post of protein and carbs. Minimal fat pre-workout. And then we do, 20 to 40 grams of protein, 20 to 40 grams of carbs post-workout. And that will also fuel that recovery. So you want to fuel the performance, but then you want to fuel the recovery after. That's the importance of like that workout window, is that you want to be able to fuel the workout, to train hard, to get the adaptation that you want from the session. And then after it, you want to make sure that you have the recovery, the fuel that's going to fuel the recovery.
Yeah. And making that change. And it took me a little while to dial in the right combination, because I do work out in the morning. I'm not usually someone who gets up with enough time to have like a full breakfast. So it took me a little while to dial that in, but noticing the difference in how much more I can push myself when I'm fueled properly. It is just this, I understand why it's overwhelming. It's like, it's this complex picture and this little puzzle we have to put together. And then it's unique to our body and how our body responds.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's one of the important things, is like there's these general things, but you also have to look at like what works best for you. So a lot of people, when I tell them, you could have apple juice and like a protein shake, they're like, well, damn, I didn't know I could do that. I think that there's like so many rules that people have with nutrition from everything that they've seen on social media or anything that people have told them in their lives. It's like, you have to make it custom to you. So just because, you know, for me, I like chicken rice before a workout, you know what I'm saying? I can eat chicken and rice in the morning, you know what I mean? That may not be the best for you. You get what I'm saying? A liquid may be best for you. Something else may be better for you. I think the most important thing is like, you know, be flexible and understand your body, like, because everything that works for somebody else may not work for you. So it's all about thinking of like, all right, what do I like? What do I enjoy? What's going to be easier for me? What's going to feel good for me? Maybe I don't like to feel weighed down in the gym, so I'll do more liquids, or I digest foods pretty quickly. I digest this pretty quickly so I can have this before the workout and have a really good workout. It's all about being your own lab experiment. You know what I mean? Because it took me a long time to figure out what I liked. You know what I'm saying? What's going to help me fuel the workout better. So it's like you just got to constantly look at yourself as an experiment and constantly keep trying different things so that you can figure out, all right, what's the best thing that can work for me? So always think about yourself first and foremost, because everything that you do with fitness has to be based off of what you enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because otherwise you're not going to stick with it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I actually would love to hear a little bit more of like the why behind your business and what had you decide to specialize in fitness for women, body transformation for women. You know, I don't know that much about your backstory before walking into the gym and totally. Doing my first set of squats with you in January.
Yep.
What made you want to focus specifically on women clientele and body transformation for women? Because that's a whole different animal than just general health and fitness.
Yeah, it is. I mean, so I started training people when I was around 20 years old. So, and it was like high school kids. So it was like high school boys, high school girls. That's how I got my start into like the training people. And then I ended up working for another company. It was more boot camp style classes, all of that. And most of the people who come to, you know, training are going to be women. Females always want to look good. They want to feel good. They want to have more energy. They want to have more confidence. So they're like, yo, I really need this. So I'm going to ask for help. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I got my introduction to training women. It's more so like it just happened. They came to me. Then if you fast forward a few years after that, like there was this one client that I had. This client is basically the foundation of like everything that I preach. So this woman came in and she was like a 6 to 8 week transformation program. She's like, I have all these goals. Like I want to look good. I want to feel good. I want to lose this amount of weight. I want to gain this amount of muscle. Like I want to feel better. Right. So I'm like, I took the typical route of fitness. I'm like, all right, that means I'm going to run you into the ground. That means I'm going to starve you. That means we're going to do hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of cardio. And we're going to get a great result after 6 to 8 weeks, because it's like, how can you not get a result when you're just starving yourself and running yourself into the ground? You know what I mean? That was my thought process at the time. That's what everybody was doing. And I mean, a lot of people still do that. That's what women think now. But I think that there's going to be a light bulb moment in a second, because what happened is like, I had her on this crazy workout routine. I'm talking about it'd be a back squat into a curl, into a burpee, into 3 building runs, into bear crawls, into, we need to pull the trucks.
Thank God you don't train like that anymore.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, run her. How can I run her into the ground? And so that she's forced to get a result no matter what she's doing outside of the gym, even if she isn't following the nutrition, right? So I ran her into the ground in the gym, and we didn't have her on any calories. So it's like, or I didn't have her on any calories. So it was like, 800 calories. And then she was doing like 2 hours a day of cardio on top of that outside of the gym, right? So 6 to 8 weeks comes, and I'm like, yo, like we about to see some results. Nothing. She felt worse, gained weight, looked bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything that I had thought, I'm like, how the hell can we do all of this and nothing changes, right? So I let her come in for like another 6 weeks. I did the same thing. I'm like, all right, we're going to push it even harder. Like something's got to be off here. Like clearly something's wrong. So we're going to go even harder, right? So I push her even harder for the next 6 weeks. What happens? Nothing. She looked worse than she first came in, 12, 16 weeks ago. She gained more weight. She looked softer. She lost lean muscle. She was miserable. You know what I'm saying?
Like the opposite of everything you had set out to help her.
Exactly. But I thought this was the right thing, because that's what it is in the fitness world. It's like you just do more and then eat less. You do as much as possible. So after this, I kind of took it upon myself to be like, yo, I need to find somebody who could tell me what the hell is going on. So that's when I went on this wild goose chase of finding mentors. And really understanding program design, really understanding the female body. Like that's when I found my passion for female transformation, was when I realized like, yo, society is kind of fucking with women right now. It's like starve yourself, fat diets, overwork, run yourself into the ground, punish yourself, this, and that. So I was like, I need to be the change. I need to do something different. So I ended up finding my mentors, Luke Lehman, Stefan Cazal. Luke Lehman is fucking phenomenal when it comes to like biochemistry. He's like a wizard. He's like a wizard. You know what I'm saying? He has all these little tips and tricks that like help heal the body and help people transform quicker, faster, get them stronger, quicker and faster. And then Stefan Cazal was amazing for program design. So he was a game changer for me. Whereas I thought that it's like you need to eat less, train more. It went to more so it's like we need to balance all of this out. So we need to make sure that we have a strategic protocol where it's like, I call it the Strong and Sexy program, the Strong and Sexy blueprint. It's like where you have phase 1, rapid fat loss, phase 2, metabolic restoration, phase 3, live your best life. This is basically a fat loss phase. Then you go into a reverse dieting phase to keep that result, because a lot of people get the result but can't keep it. So you get the result, then you keep the result with the second phase. Then we have the maintenance phase where it's like you're going to learn to eyeball food better. You know what I'm saying? Right. You're going to actually gain more lean muscle in this phase. And I realized that true transformation isn't about eating less and training more. It's about a structure. You need a structure to transformation. You can't just look at fat loss. You can't just look at overworking. You have to have a strategic approach. This may work for guys, but it does not work well for women at all.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite part now about especially seeing a woman come in who maybe hasn't been lifting and she starts to find her strength and see results, but what are some of the coolest moments for you as a coach and a trainer to see in your clients?
I just like the confidence that they have. Like, they start glowing a little more, start feeling a little more confident, start wearing different clothes. You know what I'm saying? So some people may come in with like big t-shirts and then, 6 weeks in, they're starting to like wear, a smaller t-shirts and it goes into a tank top, so it feels good seeing the confidence. It feels good seeing you push further than you thought you could. I love seeing women get strong. It's just the most fucking badass thing in the world. You know what I mean? Like you said, like you guys are lifting heavier than most men. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like you guys are repping out lunges with 45, 50 pounds. You guys are back squatting 135 pounds for reps. And this is all with tempo. You know what I'm saying? You guys are leg curling 100 pounds, 90 pounds. So it's like, it just feels good seeing progress, you know what I'm saying? And in a world where it's like everybody's like, we're going to run women into the ground and make them weaker, I'm more so like, we're going to build them up, make them stronger. And it just feels really good to see that actually happening. You know what I'm saying? It's like real time that I get to see it every day. You know what I mean? With in person and online. You know? So it's like, it's a good feeling to see everybody glow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And even just thinking about the group that, kind of started, we all started around the same time, and we get to see that in each other. Now we all send each other Instagram memes about weightlifting and stuff. But as a dad of a daughter, what do you hope Luna takes from your approach to fitness as she already has claimed you as her training partner. You were saying she already let you know she will be your future training partner.
100%. I can't wait.
Yeah. What do you want for her? As a woman in society, in this world that we're living in, what do you hope she gains from your perspective on fitness?
Just what I want her to get from everything that I do is like, everything that I do is more so based around health and longevity as opposed to quick fixes. And I think that like when you take the long-term approach to nutrition, to transformation, to lifting, that's when you're actually going to get the results. And that kind of carries over to every aspect of life. Like right now, she sees me tracking my macros. She sees me stepping on the scale. She'll step on the scale. She's building a healthy habit with the scale right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Instead of like having that unhealthy relationship with it. Because you can teach her how to think about what she's saying.
Totally. It's not about like, oh, like the scale owns me. It's about like, yo, it's just a number and it's just to gauge progress. You know what I mean? As far as the macros, she's like, all right, daddy, like you checking no macros? That's how she says.
Her
you
macros?
Checking your macros? I'm like, yep. And then she kind of like plays and acts like she's tracking her macros. You know what I'm saying? And she sees me prioritizing my sleep. She sees me taking the supplement. So the biggest thing that I want her to take, I would say the number one thing is just the discipline. Because this is something, because no matter what's going on in your life, you can control what you put in your mouth. You can control how you look. You can control how you feel. You can control your sleep. You can control your stress. You can control your steps. You can control going to the gym. I think that in today's society, so many people are like focused outwards of everything else that's going on, and it's ruining everything that's right in front of you, like right here that you got to live in. So it's like, I think that that's the biggest thing I want Luna to get from her with this program. And my approach is that you control all of this. And I am the example of her being disciplined as she gets older, because I'm seeing her picking up the habits. So I'm just being an example for her. And I want her just to have a healthy relationship with food, understand that tracking macros isn't the worst thing in the world. It's actually really good because what gets tracked gets managed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Tracking your weight isn't the worst thing in the world. It's a good number so that you keep a tab on things, so you're not gaining 20 pounds out of nowhere, which a lot of people do. Some people may, go 1 month without weighing themselves and they gain 30 pounds. And like, what the hell? And how long does it take to get it off? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like data tracking, discipline, keeping tabs on everything. And this kind of relates to everything, because fitness is something that you can control, but then you could take that into the business world, to the effort that you put into the business. Because if you can control your fitness levels and your nutrition, you can handle anything. If you got a handle on that, you can handle anything. So that's what I want Luna to get from that. Yeah.
It's like in the same way that when I used to compete in fitness for a little while, it was such an accountability marker when my trainer asked me to write down everything I ate for certain periods of time, and just the visibility. I have entrepreneurs do that in their business. Write down everything you do during the day, and you're going to see where you're either moving the business forward or not.
Exactly.
It's such a parallel.
Yes.
I want to speak a little bit to, let's say someone is working out consistently. They're not seeing the results that they want. What would you say are the top 3 most common mistakes that you see people making that are robbing them of the results that they want to see in their fitness?
Okay. So I would say, if we're looking at like the complete picture of like body transformation, I would say top 3 things: you need to get sleep. If you're not getting sleep, like, you are ruining all of your progress. 7 to 9 hours minimum. You know what I'm saying? Sleep more if you can. Like, I'm one of those guys. I need 9 to 10. I feel my best off of 9 to 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, sleep is going to be 7 to 9 hours at night. The next thing would be training hard enough. Like, make sure that you're pushing in the gym. And then the next thing I would say is tracking your macros, tracking your calories, like having some type of system that you can track your food intake. You don't have to do it forever, but whenever you have like targeted goals, some stuff that you really want to reach, and you have a goal that you want to achieve, you got to track it. So tracking macros, sleep, strength training, getting into and not like running yourself into the ground either. Very strategic, utilizing rest periods, making sure that you're getting progressively stronger from a week-to-week basis, not training 6 to 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? So just making sure that, you're taking a strategic approach to the strength training hard enough, training within 1 to 3 reps shy of failure, pushing in the gym, getting that recovery in, which is that sleep portion of it. 7 to 9 hours of sleep. If you don't get good sleep, there's a lot of things you can do. I like something where I just stretch for 10 to 15 minutes. I take a warm shower, then I supplement with magnesium bisglycinate. That's going to help me sleep a little deeper. That helps me a lot. But you want to make sure you're having a wind down routine. Make sure that you're cutting off the blue light exposure, making sure that you're not drinking caffeine too late in the day. You want to really optimize your sleep. You want to become a professional sleeper. You want to make sure that you're getting stronger, strength training. You want to make sure that you're tracking your macros so you can keep tabs on everything. So those are like the 3 things that I would really fucking dial in if you want to transform your body, is those things for sure.
So you're saying it's the basics.
It's the basics. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like there's so much noise in this world that everybody loses track of the basics. But yeah, track your macros, strength training, and getting your sleep, man, is like so fucking important. And I think that a lot of people underestimate sleep. It is everything. Everybody's like, I can run on no sleep. No, you can't. You're not going to be yourself if you're not. You're not sleeping good enough. You're going to store body fat. You're going to lose lean muscle. You're going to get the skinny fat look. So it's like, sleep is really that important whenever you're going to transform your body, for sure, as well as training and macros.
The thing that has surprised me the most in a positive way about training in the way that now I am used to training over the last 6 months is I don't have to be in the gym as much as I used to be to see better results. Right. So because we're training with intensity and in the way we've already described, I'm right now doing 3, really it's 3 most, I don't think I'm even doing 4 lift days a week any weeks. It's usually 3. And I'm resting a lot more. And then just really being conscious of overall movement, getting steps in. I wear the Oura ring, so it tracks like my total number of steps. And it's so much simpler, but it requires me to dial in the basics. If my sleep is off, then my workouts aren't intense. Traveling, doing all the things that sometimes happen. And when I'm just dialed into the simplicity of that routine, it's not any fads, it's not anything crazy. I have a little bit of a buffer to still enjoy my life. It's so much simpler, but yet I think, we're both business owners. The marketing world just wants to sell us like the next sexy thing. Yeah, totally. When it's really so much simpler than that. Yeah. It's so simple. It's really simple, man. But Okay, so when I shared that you were coming on the show, I put a little Instagram sticker up asking people what they wanted to know. Now, we've covered a lot of it because that's really what people just want, is they want to know, like, what is effective. But one of the questions that came in, which is also, the stage of life that I'm in, is just understanding how my approach to fitness needs to change as I age, as I get into my 40s, as I really want to optimize muscle building and just optimizing my hormones, et cetera. There's women of all ages who listen to this podcast. Maybe speak to, is there anything different you do with clients who are in, say, their like 20s and 30s versus 40s, 50s and beyond? Do you change the approach to training, or is it just still back to the basics?
I would say that, it all depends on the person. It always depends on where the person is. But if we're looking at like a general blanket term, blanket statement, I would say that less is more. Once you hit 30s and above, less is more. So like you said, you're doing 3 days a week in the gym and you're seeing just as much progress as you probably were in your 20s when you were, if not more, than when you're doing, more, 6 days a week in the gym. So I think that the biggest thing is like less is more. The reason why I say that is because you have a lot more responsibilities on your plate. You have a lot more things that you have to do with your life. So it all comes down to recovery. All right. So if you're running a business, if you're a mom, if you're, a wife, it's like, these are all things that are like taking your energy in a good way. You know what I'm saying? But you have to make sure that you do just enough training to get what you need, because less is more whenever you get, 30 and above, especially since, I think that you should do this in your 20s. Like for Luna, my daughter, like when she starts being my training partner, she's going to do what I do. I do 3 to 4 days a week in the gym. Less is more. You know what I mean? Because you want to manage fatigue. And so I would say women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, like realize that less is more. Like I think it's more so seeing the truth that you don't have to train 6 to 7 days in the gym. You don't have to do hours and hours of cardio. You don't have to spend so much time doing this stuff to get where you want to be. So I would say less is more is so important as you get older. You want to make sure that you are able to live life as well as transform your body. And you do that with the less is more approach. And that's where the way that we do things is like, it's like we have 6 leg day movements, but we go all in, we rest in between them. And then we have rest days in between, cause like a few weeks ago, I had to do a Wednesday and we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The girls are like, holy shit, it's so much harder when we don't have that Wednesday break. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you want to make sure that you're recovering. And just go to the gym 3 to 4 days a week and make sure that you have a structured training program that allows you to get stronger. As long as you're getting stronger, as long as you're progressing in the gym, you're going to get to where you want to go. What a lot of people do is they do 6 to 7 days in the gym. They don't make any progress because they don't recover. So you're getting weaker, losing lean muscle. So it's like, that's why I say less is more. You want to recover. Yeah.
And that, I feel like that is what I'm realizing I need more of as I'm training now in my 40s. Now, granted, I have built a foundation of muscle over the last 20 years. I've always been someone who's active, but I find that I can't, sounds ironic to say, I can't sleep on the rest. I can't skip the rest and think that I can perform in the same way, which the overachiever in me has trouble thinking like, well, 3 days a week is good. 5 would be better. And not so much. It actually has helped me find my balance of where it's sustainable for my life, but it also gets me the results that I want because I care about that. I care about how I feel. I care about my energy level. I do care about how I look. I'm training hard. I want to look like I am. And so I really wanted to bring you in to have this conversation because I just think it's such an empowering experience. And I'm a big advocate for women finding the ways of working out that work for them, that they're going to stick to. But also, I just think that there's so much research behind weight training for women, specifically as we age. And it's just contributed so much to my life. So for women who are listening, you do some in-person training in Phoenix, but you do mostly online training. So share with people where they can connect with you and just kind of what it looks like. I'm actually a little bit afraid to release the hounds and flood his DMs. I'm done. But you offer both options, in person and virtual. And whether it's with you or with another professional, I just think empowering people to not be afraid to reach out and send that first message of inquiry just to find out if it is a fit, because like we started off talking about, working with a professional is the fastest way to get you moving in the right direction. Totally. So how can people find you, connect with you, learn about becoming a client?
Totally. Yeah. So you can message me Transform on Instagram at Coach Jordan Eastman. That's the easiest way. Or you could just look on my Instagram at Coach Jordan Eastman. You could just fill out the form to see if it's something that you want to do. If you guys want to like dive deeper into what I preach and what I talk about, you guys can go on the Coach Jordan Eastman podcast on all platforms. So those are like the best ways to see what I do is Instagram, podcast, message me, Transform if you want to work with me, or you can fill out the link and podcast episode at the Coach Jordan Eastman.
Yeah. And what can people expect to find on the podcast?
You're going to see exactly how to transform your body in a sustainable way that's not going to have you starving yourself, running yourself into the ground in the gym, doing hours and hours of cardio. So you're going to have more of a strategic approach. You're going to hear about things like sleep, recovery, seasons of transformation, aligning your nutrition with your training, which is something a lot of people don't talk about. So you're going to get everything that you need to transform. And it's the truth. It's everything that you need. It's no bullshit advice. It's just, I'm a straight shooter. So I'm going to give it to you straight. So if you guys are looking for no bullshit transformation advice, like that's transformed over 1,000 women, like literally, just go on that, check that out, and you'll be able to see everything that you need to about how to transform your body the right way.
Dude, I'm just laughing. There are the flies that are flying around have multiplied.
Yes. I feel like there's like 4 now.
Just for you.
Yeah, they came. It's the energy that I'm putting out. I'm like, I don't want 1 fly, so we got to multiply it by fucking 4.
Just laughing. Because listen, during our training, all we get to hear about are all of Jordan's icks. Yep. Why he doesn't go in saunas, why he doesn't go in cold plunges. How flies are just bringing the poop around. So
exactly.
Anyway, that's also what you can expect if you train with us in person.
Yeah.
But I have one final question. This is the question I ask every single guest at the end.
Right.
It's an opportunity to celebrate, because I don't know about you, but I'm not great at pausing to like celebrate my progress in business or in my life. Totally. I'm just on to the next goal. And we just call it a powerhouse moment. It can be anything big or small. But when I say what's a recent powerhouse moment you want to celebrate right now, what's like the first thing that comes to your mind?
Powerhouse moment. Does this have to be in regards to business or just anything with my life?
Yeah, anything.
I would say the biggest thing that I have, honestly, probably the best thing that I've done in my life so far, just with business life, has been homeschooling my daughter. Yeah. A lot of people don't know I homeschool Luna, but yeah, I homeschool her. I think that's like actually seeing her progress in like that's the biggest powerhouse moment for me. Like my daughter, like being able to succeed and giving her a different route and me actually helping her do it that's the powerhouse moment, is being able to homeschool my daughter and have the flexibility to do so.
And sit and have a podcast interview while you're being attacked by flies.
Yeah, by being attacked by the damn flies, trying to ruin my vibe. You know what I'm saying? Too many different emotions going on in here. I got flies, and then I got my daughter. I'm about to cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, man,
there's a lot of things going on.
A lot going on here. But yeah, that's the biggest powerhouse moment, man. It's like that's the biggest thing is just being able to homeschool my daughter and have that flexibility to do so. I think a lot of people that listen to your podcast will, be happy with that, because they are. They want to create their own schedules, work how they want to work, do things how they want to do it, Yep. So that's the powerhouse moment for me.
I mean, and that's it, right? It's like the simplicity of life, just like we talked about the simplicity with your exercise and fitness routine.
Yeah.
Finding the simplicity of life and being able to celebrate that. It's like everything else that happens, all the wins,
totally.
Everything else is just a bonus, but I truly mean it when I say working with you, and especially like the community that you create around your classes and just the way it's helped me reconnect with my strength has been so empowering. It's been such a cool additive to this season of my life and my business. So I'm grateful for you, dude. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for letting me know. And I'm grateful for you. It's been amazing. It's been an honor coaching you. And I'm looking forward to what we do.
Am I like one of your strongest, would you say?
Yeah.
Like one of your most impressive?
Totally. Beast mode. Beast mode for sure.
Listen, I did tell you the first day I showed up, I was like, listen, I'll sign up with you, but can you get me back to doing pull-ups? You kept your word.
Banging out chin-ups, easy.
Yeah, we got
banging them
those.
out. We got it pretty quick though too.
Now we got to come up with some new goals, I guess.
Yeah. 20 pull-ups, 40 push-ups. That's the next step, like, is the weighted ones.
Have dar hang from my waist.
Have dar hang from the waist.
Okay, coming soon.
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's do it. Let's get it.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, appreciate you.
It.